want to inspire people, if that's their passion, to don't not do it because you don't think you're tall enough, or but if you work hard and if you do the things that you need to do to learn your skill and actually basketball IQ, which a lot of players don't have these days, you can become anything you want to do. Hey guys, I'm Christy Buss, and make sure you subscribe to Lux Media Studios, comment and like, and be sure to hit that bell. Hey everybody, it's Ageless Ambitions on Lux Media Studios. We're here. Boy, I have a guest who just transitioned into what he's doing right now, and I can't wait for you to hear about his story. More importantly, he's a good friend of Darius's, and they played ball together. He's a professional basketball player. I want to introduce you to Tade Keshishyan.
Yes.
You're Armenian.
Yes, I was born in LA, born in Glendale,
Okay.
born and raised, but I am Armenian. And of course, playing basketball, I would travel back and forth to Armenia.
So you played basically in Armenia?
Yes. I played in Armenia for, I believe, 2 or 3 seasons. I can't remember. But playing for the national team as well, I would just come and go.
Did you love playing ball?
Of course. I did it since I was born.
You were really good, Tade.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and so I guess, did you, when Darius went over to Armenia, because he played a few years there too, was it before you knew him that he was already playing ball, or did you meet him right away when he came over to Armenia?
I met him in Armenia. It's actually a funny story. It was actually 2018. I was playing for Urartu, and I was having a good season, and then Darius came and then took my spot. just to be honest, as soon as Darius came in, my minutes dropped and everything, and I'll actually tell you this one game. We're playing this internal, like in-season league, in-season tournament, and I have like 40, and Darius just got here, and I'm killing it, and my coach was like, I want the ball to go through Darius every time, And I looked at the coach. I was like, are you not watching the game? I have 40, And then Darius was just kind of on the side like, yeah, man, I don't know, man. But that was just, it was funny how I met Darius in 2018. And then, we later ended up in Vahagni.
At Vahagni, yeah. And you guys are really good friends. I mean, you love competing even against each other in one-on-one. And, Armenia basketball, is not as big as a lot of countries are, but you guys really put it on the map. Let's say that, and I appreciate that because, not a lot of people know about that. And Armenia has been in a war situation for a pretty long time. So, I don't even know if they're doing basketball this year because of the war. And that's just not good. We want things to be better in Armenia, and we want people to know that basketball has gotten really, really big there. And hopefully people can, understand how important it was for you to play there, as well as Darius, and bring that level of basketball way up, and that's really a big deal for me to let people know. But in terms of basketball, when you do that, because when you play that high level of being a pro, no matter if it's Armenia or somewhere else around the world, it takes skill and it takes time to learn. So you must have been doing this since you were young.
Since I was born.
Since you were born, that's my thing.
Yeah, my mom actually shared a story with me. She said, because I asked her, I said, like, when did I start playing, And she said when I was 2 years old, she took with the family, we went to Shakey's Pizza. And she said, this is how I knew you like basketball. So I would play on the basketball machine in the arcade. And she's like, when you would run out of time, she's like, you would hug the machine and yell for my name because you didn't want anybody else to play. So, I didn't know that. But now, like later on, years later down the line, hearing that's pretty cool.
And so you dedicate your whole, young life to learning the skill of basketball. That's why it's important for me to bring this up, because, and my show is called Ageless Ambitions. And for people to know, I don't know how tall you are, but you're not really a super tall basketball player, right? 6'1".
Yeah, 6'1".
Okay,
that's short in the basketball world.
It is, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can't play, right? So we want to
Right.
inspire people, if that's their passion, to don't not do it because you don't think you're tall enough, or, but if you work hard and if you do the things that you need to do to learn your skill and actually basketball IQ, which
Hmm.
a lot of players don't have these days,
Yes.
um, you can become anything you want to do. So that's the inspiration that I want to put out there.
You know,
And
I'm sorry to cut you off. Basketball,
that's okay.
it's a simple game. Basketball is a very simple game. The complex part about it is the decision making. You have to make a decision in a split second. Now, obviously, there's
Yeah,
many examples of high level players that are undersized. But
right,
if you're undersized, unfortunately, you don't have a lot of margin for error. But it's not impossible. So if like look at Steph Curry, for example, not the biggest
right.
guy on the floor, but if you could shoot at a high clip from 50 feet and you don't miss, then you have a spot on the team. If you're vocal, if you play defense, especially as a point guard, if you can manage a team, there's a lot of ways for you to earn a spot on the floor. So, it definitely, I mean, especially myself, a lot of undersized people, like they have these doubts creep in. But if you love the game, then you're going to figure out, how to be a high level player. Simple as that.
Because isn't that decision making kind of like the basketball IQ of it?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
So you watch
right.
film, you watch other players, their tendencies, and the more you study, the more the game slows down. So
Right.
because defense is systematic. That's the advantage that you have as an offensive player. You know that okay, they might hedge the screen, they might trap over here, or how they're gonna play. So if you know how the defense is gonna play, then you just make the right decision. It's very simple.
And
And then
that's
it's
in
just
life,
about adjusting. That's just about
right? That's
adjusting.
in life. You're talking about life right now, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's how basketball can even guide how you live the rest of your life. The discipline of all the things that you do to become that player is what you can guide you to other things down the road. And that's something that I was so excited to have you on the show, because now, growing up, being a little older, we can only play basketball for so long. I mean, Darius is still kind of playing, but he's ready to do his transition soon.
I heard. I
But
heard.
you guys have to make decisions, and all you did was be in a gym playing ball all the time. So
All day.
to inspire yourself to say, "Whoa, I'm ready to leap into something different," and then
Yes.
now, I want to say that you've gotten into real estate.
Yes.
What made
What?
you what made you even think about doing that compared to
Well.
anything else out there?
Well. I'll tell you this. My whole career as a basketball player, my life as a basketball player, I've always,
Mhm.
had obstacles and challenges. And every single time, I would look at this mountain and I would tell myself, can I climb this mountain? And the answer was always yes. So when I was 27, I actually left Armenia like mid-season and came home because, again, I looked at this mountain, my goals, my expectations, and I said, can I climb this mountain? And the answer was yes. But the only difference was there was a follow-up question, which was, do I want to climb this mountain? And the answer was no. Now the answer was no, but it was not for. Usually, I'm selfish when it comes to basketball. I don't care if I'm away from family, like if relationships, like I wouldn't have any relationship because I was so committed. But at this age and my dynamic, it was more valuable to me to be around my family and build memories and be home and provide than it was
Okay.
to go overseas and continue this because I actually just signed at the time to a big international basketball international group. And my friend Benny Kuchoy, he was the one that connected me. We would work out every summer at USA Academy. And my whole life, I had no agent. So I finally get this agent. He's talking about, France, Spain, da 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 da. And it just out of nowhere, it just hit me. Do I want to commit the next 5 years away from family and do this thing? Now, the basketball player in me, 100%. But from my side of it, I didn't have the support of the important people in my community. And what I mean is, the basketball federation, they were pushing certain guys because of their names and their resumes, which is fine. It's business. I understand all that. But, for me, I wouldn't get that support. But if I would accomplish something personally, then they would claim me, as one of their guys. And there was a lot of things that if I had a certain amount of support, it would have expedited my career years ago. I probably might have not
Right.
been in Armenia. So, all those things played a factor. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm doing this all by myself. And if I go somewhere and, everywhere you go overseas is a different dynamic. Coaches might not like you, players might not like you. And so for that reason, the coach cuts your minutes or whatever the case is. So a lot of those things contributed into my decision making. Like if I go over here and I'm just sitting down and I'm not playing and I'm just practicing, I get depressed personally because I just
Hmm.
need to play. And so I'm like, I could stay home and get these 5-on-5 runs in LA, which is way better competition if we're talking strictly basketball. So that's why I made the decision to. It took me a week. It took me a week. I called my mom, my brother, my cousin, my girlfriend, and I'm saying this is what I'm thinking. And everyone except my brother was like, "No, you can't do it." Da, 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 da. My brother was actually saying it too. He's like, "No, you shouldn't, man." Da, da, da. And then when I explained to him why I did it, he's like, "Okay, okay, come back home and let's get this thing going." Because my brother, he was a MMA fighter actually. And
Okay.
when he was 16, 17, he was working like two jobs and he was fighting and he was undefeated in his amateur record. And he made a decision to step away from the sport because there was no money in it. And he's like, I could do more things with my brain. So he's the one that kind of really understood what I was going through. And
Right.
so I talked to Shant, which is the owner of Acme. And I said, look, Shant, I'm sorry, man. This is what it is. I gotta go. And he was supportive, And I came back home, and my whole thought process was, I don't care what I do. I just want to make money. As it might sound bad to people, but I just want to provide and build this lifestyle that I have in
I
mind.
think that's a good thing, right? That's
I
not a
think so
bad thing.
too.
That's
I
definitely
think
a
so
good
too.
thing.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I came back. I did this job for like 2 months, and it wasn't scalable. It wasn't really anything crazy. There was money in it, but it's just not for me. And so I started thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, what can I do? Like, what can I do to make money, right? And the second thing, I wanted to pick a job that my family could benefit from too. You know, it wasn't just about me. So I was thinking, what can I do to again be successful, make money, but in turn help my family? And I went to my cousin's office. This is the marketing team of mine.
Uh-huh.
It's my two
Uh-huh.
cousins and my brother. And I'm talking to them, and I was like, I'm thinking about doing real estate. My cousin's like, yeah, no brainer. We've worked with realtors before. You have a marketing team. We're gonna push you completely, and that's how it started. I started taking the test, and the more I learned, the more interested I got, and I gave it a shot, and now I'm very happy with the decision I made.
So a lot of people get into real estate. They just don't really know how hard it is to take that test, and a lot of people fail it a couple times, right? So how was that for you?
Well, I passed the first time, and
Oh wow,
but
nice.
thank you. It was funny because before the test, there was people sitting there like, "Oh, if you fail, you could just come back and take it." This is my third time taking, it. And they're all like talking amongst each other, and I'm just in the corner like, I don't want to listen to nothing you guys are talking about. Like this is, like
It's
I'm not part
negative,
of this. I'm not part of
right?
this. And so the thing is, I was never a school guy, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Certain subjects that I was interested in, I killed because I just had genuine interest. But for the most part, I just knew I want to play basketball, and it's not contributing to what I want to do. But I know my personality. If I want something, I work and I go get it. So I studied, and then I passed the first time, and then it was time to go. So
So when you get in this real estate world of what's going on right now, I mean, you kind of got into it into a crazy time, like interest rates changing and stuff like that. Does that affect you, what you're doing, or is that, you know, have anything to do with what you're doing?
I think I got into it at the perfect time
Oh,
because, yeah,
that's good
because
to hear.
well, it's perspective. So, during the last few years, COVID and whatnot, the interest rates were low, two, three, whatever percent, and everyone was buying. Everyone was buying, and they were going over asking because they want to get the house. So, if I was to start then as a brand new agent, who would want to work with the new guy with nothing to show? So how are you going to
Okay.
trust in me as a realtor to beat multiple offers and guide you the right way when I have no experience? So that's why I think I started the right time. So now things are slowing down a little bit. Now I have time to market myself and build my name and my resume, so that when the market does turn around and become really hot, then that's when I'm gonna
You're
reap the
ready.
benefits. Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Right. So you consider it not a hot time right now because there's people that are saying, okay, the interest rates are higher, but the the price of the house is lower, just like what you were saying, opposite of the
Mm,
interest rate low and the price out high.
so the prices actually aren't lower.
Oh,
There is still homes that are multiple offers going over asking.
oh,
So
really?
yes, there was a house in Locker Center on Henrietta Street, had like 105 offers. It was listed at 1.80 million, and it sold for like 1.6. So what I think happened was, when it was 2-3%, again, everyone's let's buy, let's buy, let's buy, which in my opinion is the wrong thing to do. Because
Hmm.
if you're going to get it at 2-3% and you're going, let's say, 100, 200, 300 over asking, so first of all, you can't refinance because you're going to get a 7-8% mortgage right now, and your monthly is going to be higher. And the second thing is, it's going to take a long time for you to build equity on that home.
Right.
So, in my opinion, if you were to buy at that time, it's got to be like, this is my dream home. I'm going to raise my
And you're never going to
family
move.
here. I'm never going to move. Like, this is it for the next 10, 15 years. So, if that's the case, then you got to steal. But as an investor, I wouldn't really recommend that. So, what started happening was the rates started going up to, 4%, 5%. And all the buyers started freaking out. They're like, it's too high, because they were spoiled. But, historically, 5%, 5.5% is an average rate historically. So when it got to like 5.5, 5%, people, buyers started realizing, okay, wait a minute, this is going to go higher. So people started buying again. That's why we have all these multiple offers and stuff. And the reason why homes are still appreciating is because of just supply and demand. There's buyer demand came down a bit, but there's still no inventory. So as long as there's no inventory, the price is going to be marked up. I
I
don't know if
see.
you remember, like the Rolex watches, a standard, like for retail, $15,000 watch. There was no Rolexes available. It was going for like 40,000. So it's just supply and demand. It doesn't really have much to do with interest rates.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know because I mean, I didn't think it would be nice to buy a house, but you're saying that's the average percentage is like in the 5.5%.
Yeah,
Is that what it
now
is right now,
seven
or is
to
it a little
eight.
higher?
No, no, now it's like 7 to 8%. I'm saying at the time when it was slowly raising, people were
Okay.
panicking and they were saying it's too high, but they're comparing it to 2-3%. You know,
Right.
and
And
it's a
that
give
was
and
pretty much
take.
normal.
Right, it's a give and take. It was 2-3%, but you're going $200,000 over asking. It's a give and take. But I would rather buy at a higher rate. Again, it could just comes down to whether you can afford it or not.
Right.
So if you can afford the 7-8% and it's a good house, good deal, like buy it, because you could live in there, you could rent it out, and then over time you refinance for a lower rate. Rent goes up every year. You're covering. I'll tell you this, especially in our Armenian community, we would go drop 1,000, $1,500 on a Mercedes, but buying a house, renting it out, and paying $400 out of pocket is a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's perspective. Like you're
Right.
buying a car, you're buying a liability that's depreciating, where you could buy an asset, 400 or even $1,000 a month, and it's going to appreciate. You're going to make some money out of this. You could build your portfolio. So it's just
And
the
that's what I
perspective.
think is the problem in you know real estate or just wanting to invest, that people really don't have any kind of like mindset on how that really works. So is
Absolutely.
that something that you want to do? Like also, create something that is informative so that people understand stuff like that because you really have a lot to offer.
Uh, well, that's our job first and foremost, is to educate
Okay.
people, because a lot of times the general public, they just go off what they hear, what they see on social media, and they don't really do the homework. And
We were just
us,
talking about that. Yep.
yeah, yeah, us in the industry, we have lender friends, contractors, A to Z, so we kind of like know a little bit. That's our job, is to know what's going on in this market. So again, my job is to educate people. If they're educated, then they will make the right decision. If they know what's going on. And the second thing is too, which is I've learned in this industry, is be truthful and be honest. Because a lot of realtors, they go, oh, quick commission, and then they force someone into a corner and make them buy something they don't want to buy. but they don't understand like that's hurting your business long run. So
Right.
I told a friend of mine, we were just talking. I told a friend of mine, I said, look, if I take care of you, if I do my job, you're not going to buy one house, you're going to buy 10. you know but if I cheat you and you buy one house just to get a quick commission, then now I'm hurting my business. They're going to find out, they're never going to work with me, they're going to go talk bad about me in the community, and block other opportunities.
Believing Before Seeing, a new bestseller by Candace Barr. Order your copy today.
Right.
That's
And
how I feel.
that's something that's real important, like the authenticity of your character, because that's what we were just discussing a little bit earlier in a different episode, is that, when you just do something for the money, it really doesn't help. And people out there need to understand that, you know, watch out for those kind of people, because they will take advantage of you. And we don't want that. We want you guys to learn and educate. It's all about knowledge and being educated in whatever thing that you're wanting to get into or wanting to buy or wanting to, as simple as even makeup. We were talking about makeup and what works and what doesn't. So it just all matters to be authentic and be
Yes.
real about what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which to me, again, it doesn't make sense, because if you go, I just want to make money. Well, if you want to make money, this is how you make money, is by providing good service and being truthful. Like that's how you're gonna make more money. So that's why it's like what's it called? Uh, I can't remember the word. It's like hypocritical, I guess. Like I want to make money,
Right.
but
Right.
you're doing things that's gonna hurt your business, as far as lying and
Right.
all that stuff.
Right.
But I'm not concerned
It's
about that.
contradictive.
Yeah, that's the word exactly. I'm not concerned about that. When I started real estate, uh, so I'll tell you this. So, playing basketball, that was my life, all day, every day, 3, 4 times a day. I would train kids in between. I would, as soon as I come home, I was watching film all day, every day, like forever, like forever. So that was hard for me. That was hard for me, especially as an Armenian kid. Now, like in our community, our basketball is growing in the Armenian community. So these kids, like they're around, like they get to see NBA guys train, and they have the guys like Rex Kalamian, the assistant coach for the Pistons, coming back and coaching the national team and giving back to the youth. Like now they have that. Like we in my age and before didn't have that. Now I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm very happy
Right.
from my experiences. Like in Glendale, I used to just walk up to Brand Park and play against like the 17, 18-year-olds. They would kick us off the court, argue and fight. And that's how we did it. So that's why, I like that, because, I got a chip on my shoulder and blah, blah, blah. But now the kids, they have a real opportunity to go play Division 1 basketball and make their dreams come true. This is a service business. Um,
Mhm.
so it's so obvious people that are trying to cheat you and lie to you. So I mean, that's never been my motto ever. But so yeah, I think what I was going to say was, when I came into this business, being from training 3, 4 times a day,
Oh
now
yeah.
I don't have the physical stress. I'm like, this is easy. This is
Right,
easy.
because it
I
takes
just
so much work to be in physical shape, right?
right,
It
exactly,
takes a
exactly,
lot,
24/7.
right?
So, and you were saying
24/7.
that in the
That's what Darius
beginning.
is doing.
That
Yeah,
I see it. I know. Believe me. That's why we
every
got
day.
along too, me and Darius, because we had the same mentality. you know.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
actually, in Vokny, the first day the whole team was there, I went to the gym and Darius was there with Alvin Brown. And then Darius goes like, "Man, you don't know how happy I am to see you in here." And I was like, "Bro, you're not gonna see me anywhere else, bro. This is where I'm gonna be." And he was the same way. He was the
Yeah,
same way.
the competitive, because it's hard being overseas all by yourself and just want to train. But when you got two people there that want to have the same kind of background and same dreams and same kind of motivation,
Yes.
that makes it right. So with Tade being in the real estate and you're looking into your future, I just would love for you to tell me what some of your bigger goals are in your future. What are you wanting to happen to you based on you starting in real estate and moving up the ladder and everything that you can do with this business? What would be something that would be so awesome for you?
Well, for me, I would say, well, of course, I want to be a top realtor. I'm just a
Okay.
competitor. But I don't look at other realtors and say I have to beat them. I have to beat them. It's just within myself. Like I want to do my best. But of course, this is a lucrative business, and you can make a lot of money if you do things the right way. So ultimately, I guess I would just want to make some cash, become an investor myself, use my
Okay.
connections in the friends I built in like as far as lenders and contractors. Those are also perks of the business. So what I want to do is just take that money, become an investor, make the right decisions. Like I said in the beginning, help my family because my cousins, they're marketing and they're growing every day. They're doing amazing. So give them the same opportunity. And what I ultimately, my goal is to grow together with my family, and so that way to be able to afford freedom, and
Right.
I guess ultimately just live the lifestyle that I want to live. Be around
That's
my
awesome.
family, be a father in the future, and just enjoy life. I think that's the ultimate goal for myself.
I
I
love
don't really
that. I
have I
love
don't
that.
really have materialistic goals. Like, don't get me wrong, a Lamborghini is nice, and if I could afford five of them, I'd buy one. Don't get me wrong, but those aren't the things that drive me. What drives me is something as simple as being able to go to my son's basketball game. Like not being able to miss it, or wife's wedding, you take her on a nice trip, things like that, or buy my mom something
You're
nice.
such a
Those are
traditional guy. I love it. I love it,
is
Tade.
that no, that's just how I feel. My
And there's
happiness
not a
comes.
lot of you guys out there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So family, and that's what you came back here to do. You decided to
Exactly.
just be with family, and
Yes.
that
Yes.
just shows you your upbringing, and that's what we need in our lives of people around the world. Just family is everything. Family is what roots you to your positivity in life. If you have those kind of parents, right? Because some people aren't parenting, and that's why there's disasters in our world, and the prejudice of people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's innate. It's inborn. It's from your upbringing. And I just, that really frustrates me sometimes. So these are the kind of people that we want to show that this is what is the best for everyone out there, is to be family and really understand that that's what's going to make our world a better place for sure. you know
Well, I agree with you. I mean, me personally, we had a very me and my brother and my mom had a rough times, challenges, especially when we were kids. My parents separated, and I'm not trying to make this deep or anything, trying to go like too
no,
detailed into
it's
it, but
okay.
she took a lot of responsibility as a mother and a father,
Single mom.
and single mom, and she is the reason why. My mom is the reason why I am the way I am, because she would work all day every day, and when I
To
was
provide.
younger, like high school freshman or around that time, I had problems sleeping. So my mom used to wake up 3 a.m., get ready, and then go to work every single day, and I couldn't sleep. So I would just hear her alarm, you know, and that was. And I told myself, I'm like, man, if she's 40 or whatever, 40 something, and she's waking up, and I'm 17 or 15, 16, whatever, like, what's my excuse? So then I just started getting up early and going to the gym 4 or 5 in the morning, because I felt like if she's doing it, I have to do it. And she was my role model, to be honest with you. And she supported my dreams. She never ever once said, go get a job or anything like that. She said, whatever you want to do, she supports it, and that's all I needed. But she was my daily example, and that's how I developed my work ethic. So I really just owe it all to her.
You got to get her some flowers today. Just
I
kidding.
gotta get her more than some flowers.
Yeah,
I gotta
just to
get her
show
more than some
that
flowers.
it is. It's how we are raised, and that's what we need to, you know, amplify to the world, is that how we are raised and our parenting makes us who we are today. And our world would be such a better place if everybody did that. So thank you for giving that example, because maybe it'll inspire somebody that, might not be doing a good job parenting, could do a better job for their kids and stuff like that. I really appreciate your time here, Tade.
Of
I
course.
can't wait to see you succeed so much in what you're doing. And you are inspirational, and it gives, athletes an opportunity to know to love what they do. But there's going to be a time that you're going to have to change
Yeah.
and make better decisions. You can't play ball the whole life. So,
Exactly.
these are the kind of things that'll inspire somebody to say, wow, I know what I can do after basketball or baseball or soccer or whatever they're doing. Because I think it's great that people do that. I mean, but not everybody's going to be a top professional in the NBA that can just, okay, then retire afterwards. No,
You
they're going
know,
to have to think about a job.
those type of when that's that point, that level, it's more than just basketball. It's a business, and it's very political. And
Right.
once those kids get to that point, if they're fortunate enough to be in that position, great. If not, they'll understand, and you kind of become you're okay with. Everybody wants to go to the NBA, but you become okay with not being there in a sense, because I didn't know nothing about any business, politics, who to know. Like, I was just playing. Now there's kids nowadays that eighth grade that are around the right people, but still some of those guys, NBA guys, I would bust their ass in the gym, and that would make me feel good. Like, these guys getting millions of dollars, I'm getting nowhere near that, and my skill level matches up and all that stuff. But more importantly, the commitment, the dedication, and what you do to obtain these things, it will translate. That's the beauty of it. It will translate.
Ah,
So that's why I said when I
great.
started real estate, I'm like, this is easy, because it was nowhere compared to what I had to do just to, get a foot in the door. Like, you know, but I agree. And if you don't mind, I want to just give some people credit while I'm here. I think it's
No
only right.
problem.
As far as basketball, I want to give some credit to Jelani Gardner. He's done a lot for my game as a man and as a player. He's opened up a lot of doors for me. I learned a lot from him. I want to say my college coach, Jerron Roberts, my friend Chris Allen. I want to say Cameron Bailey and Benny Kutroy. Those are the guys that really, played a significant role of me, reaching where I've reached. Uh, as far as the real estate, I have to say thank you to our broker Artin. And I don't know if people know this, but as a small brokerage, we have like 50, 60 agents. We're the number one brokerage that's a non-franchisee. So, like, the Coldwells and all those people, they have thousands and thousands. So as a non-franchisee, we are the number one brokerage. And I didn't know
Sometimes
about.
smaller's better.
Sometimes small is better. And I actually would
Like
train
my
our.
skincare line. It's smaller. But guess what? They're going to get better service. They're going to get
Exactly.
people
That's
to
true.
answer their questions, and
Yeah.
then any problems, it's going to happen right away.
Yes.
So sometimes our little boutique is a lot
Yes.
better than the big guys. That doesn't mean we can't be just as
Well, I'll
successful.
tell you what. I mean, as far as the last 5 years, our brokerage has done over $100 million worth of sales. So that's not a joke, And I'm telling you, like, I didn't know about him because I would train. I've known Arton for years. I would train his son Aiden, and what's it called? I knew he was a realtor, but not being in that world, I didn't really pay attention to it. But when I got here, I started to know, how high up there he is. But more importantly, I would come in the morning. He's here before me at 6:30. So that's what I want. Someone that doesn't need to work, but he's still working like he doesn't have a dollar. So big thank you to Artin. I also have to say, you've met Armin Safarlu. I have to say thank you to Armin. He took me under his wing, and without these guys, without their support, I would not have the minimal success I've had up to this point. And then
It's always good to acknowledge the people that have made you
they
who
deserve
you
it.
are today.
They deserve it.
Yes.
And of course,
And
my
so
brother and my cousins for the marketing, and lastly, my mom and my grandma. So I think they deserve to get a shout out and get some credit.
we need more of you guys, more guys like you, Tade.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You're too
I
kind.
appreciate you being here, and I look forward this to going viral so that people can really see what kind of person that you are and what you've done from basketball into real estate, and inspire all of us, because that's the most important thing from what I want to have for my podcast. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, honestly, Christy. And of course, however I can help, you already know I'm here for you.
You got it.
Thank you.
Ageless Ambitions on Lux Media Studios. Did you guys hear this? Go out there, go kiss your mom, go hug your mom who has supported you and done things for you. Be family. We want family. This is what the most important thing is in our lives. So I thank you for being here. Come back and join us. And don't forget to watch my past episodes, because you'll see things like this. Have a good day, guys.